If you guys have been following the channel for any length of time, you know that I tend to focus more on Vancouver and the surrounding areas here in Clark County. Well, we're going to change that up a little bit here. You see, with home prices in Clark County continuing to climb higher and higher, a lot of folks are looking towards Cowlitz County for more affordable housing options. In fact, about half of the homes that I've sold this year have been up in Cowlitz County. So, with that in mind, we're going to start showing some love to our neighbors next door, and we're going to start by checking out the city of Longview. So, if you guys want to come check out Longview with me, then stick around. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Rick Anderson. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for checking out today's video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys get some good information from it. Do me a huge favor, if you would, hit that like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Consider subscribing to the channel and tap that notification bell so you know the next time I put out a new video. And speaking of videos, as much as I love putting out this content for you, selling homes is how we keep the lights on and the kids fed around here. So if you or anyone you know is looking to buy or sell a home here in Southwest Washington, I am a licensed real estate broker with eXp Realty, and I'd love to help you guys out with buying or selling your next home here in Southwest Washington. So feel free to reach out. You can call, text, email. There's even a link down in the description below to set up a Zoom call. I love hearing from you guys, so don't be afraid to reach out. All right, now that we got that housekeeping stuff out of the way, let's go check out Longview. So about 40 miles north of Portland and Vancouver, we've got Longview. Now, it's the largest city in Cowlitz County with about 37,000 people. Longview and its sister city, Kelso, were originally developed as mill towns and as towns for supporting mill workers. So from lumber mills, paper mills, aluminum plants, the list goes on. This town was built on manufacturing, and manufacturing jobs still account for about 19% of employment in the city. When you come through downtown Longview, you're going to find old buildings that date back to the early days of the city, back in the early 20s. Now, a lot of what you're going to find here is small businesses that are trying to give the local economy a boost. So you've got longtime family businesses like Bob's Sporting Goods that started out selling military surplus after World War II and has been family owned and operated, I think, for about 3 generations now. And you've also got newer ones like Ashtown Brewing Company that's named after arguably, one of the most iconic events in Pacific Northwest history, the eruption of Mount St. Helens. But like with any city, you've got to take the good with the bad. And as you go through downtown, you'll see a number of vacant storefronts and an increasing number of homeless people. Unfortunately, this is one of the downsides of being in a city that a good portion of the economy centers around manufacturing, is that when the economy starts to falter and manufacturing jobs get lost, which is exactly what happened in Longview, the economy, the areas start to decline. But we'll go into that more in depth a little bit later. Now, the city is trying to rally, and they're working hard at revitalizing the city. The Longview Police Department cracks down on illegal camping in the city limits very seriously, and they're doing what they can to not only direct the homeless to services that can help them, but to make the city a safer and more appealing place for people to live and do business. All right, as we come away from the downtown area, we're going to come over to Lake Sacagawea. Now, things in this area really start to perk up. So here in just a second, you're going to see we're going to be driving on the west side of the lake, and you can see for yourself that these are some of the nicer neighborhoods in Longview. You've got these beautiful tree-lined streets. You've got parks over here on the right side for the kids to play. Most of the homes in this area are going to be older. Some even date back to the 20s in the early days of the city. But what I notice the more that I look around is there's a good majority of these homes have been very well cared for. A lot of the homes have been updated, remodeled, and if they haven't been updated or remodeled, they've just been very nicely cared for. And as we keep going, this big old building on the left that you're going to see here is R.A. Long High School. Now, it was named after Robert A. Long, who built the first lumber mill here in Longview way back in the day. It's a pretty cool building, and it is one of 2 high schools here in town. The other one's Mark Morris. Okay, now we're going to stop right here for a second. You might be wondering what this thing is hanging over the street. Well, one thing that Longview is known for is its squirrel bridges. Yep, you heard that right. I said squirrel bridges. It originally started when a bunch of people in the area noticed a lot of squirrels getting hit by cars, so they made the proposal to the city council for a squirrel bridge, and they approved it. The original bridge is called the Nutty Narrows Bridge, and it's on the National Register of Historic Places, and it inspired several other bridges throughout the area and other cities across the U.S. as well. The bridge that we just saw there is the Obeck Bridge. Okay, so to this point, Longview doesn't look too bad, right? Well, now we're going to head over to the Broadway neighborhood and show you around one of the less desirable neighborhoods in town. So as we go along here, you can see that in this neighborhood, the houses aren't as nice as over by the lake. You've got more rundown, vacant properties. You've got low-income apartments. You've got broke-down cars in the streets. You're going to find more homeless in this area. And this is one of the neighborhoods where you are going to have higher crime rates. So a buddy of mine used to live somewhere over here in this neighborhood years ago. I can't remember where exactly. And he would always tell me stories about tweakers trying to break into his garage, lurking around behind his house in the alley, stuff like that. Now, that's one person's perspective, and it was a long time ago, so, in all fairness, hopefully things have improved. But when we take a look at this crime map from crimegrade.org, we're right here in this area east of downtown. Now, you can probably guess that the areas in red, yellow, and orange are going to be the higher crime areas. Now, in fairness, a lot of the areas in red are the industrial parts of town and the older, more run-down neighborhoods, as you might expect. Now, to give you an idea, this is coming into the industrial part of Longview. So you can see we've got lumber, processors over there, log trucks going through the area, chip trucks like the one in front of us. Mostly going to be industrial businesses in this area. There's a lot I'm not going to be able to show you just because it would take forever for me to do that. But, you've got businesses. We've got a tire shop over here. Home Depot's just on the other side of the road. It's out of the camera view. You can't really see it. But, yeah, most of your commercial industrial businesses, this is where you're going to find it in Longview. And like I said, on that crime map back there, a big portion of the red high crime area is going to be in these industrial areas, which also border some of the older, more run-down neighborhoods of Longview. This is also one of the ways that you would head out to the beach. Coming up to this next intersection, if you hang a left, that will take you across the Lewis and Clark Bridge over onto Highway 30 on the Oregon side, or you can head out through the industrial area and up to Ocean Beach Highway. Alright, from here we're going to head up to the Hillside Acres neighborhood, up by the Longview Heights area. So this neighborhood is true to its name. It is perched on the hill north of town. It overlooks, once you get up to the top, it overlooks the city, the Columbia River. So if you're looking for some pretty amazing view properties, this is going to be one of the areas where you're going to want to look. So up here you're going to find a mix of older and some newer homes on larger lots. You can see like this one right here in front of us. You can tell it's a little bit of an older home, but it's a pretty good sized lot. As we keep going along through the neighborhood, you guys get a better view of it here. You've got nice neighbors like this guy here who was walking down the street for a little bit, didn't realize I was behind him and gave me a wave. You're also going to find more wooded areas for privacy. You're not going to be crammed in like a lot of subdivisions that are being built nowadays. And being out here on the edge of town, up in the woods, up in the hills, don't be surprised if, you wind up seeing some of the local wildlife, maybe moseying through your backyard. Now, probably one of the biggest negatives that I could say for this area, as you can probably see here, it does get a little bit steep. So wintertime might be a little bit of an issue if you're living up here on top of the hill. Now, there are some less steep routes to get up into this neighborhood. I just happened to choose probably one of the steepest as I was cruising through the neighborhood. So, that kind of is what it is. Learned from my mistake. But, as you can see as we're going through here, these are some pretty nice houses, well cared for. This guy that's right in front of us has probably got a pretty decent view. Now, even though Longview has gained a bit of a bad reputation over the years, for drugs, crime, things like that, I think this neighborhood here is a really great example that no matter how bad of a reputation Longview may have, there are still very nice neighborhoods. There's nice people here in the area. And if view properties are your thing, this street, this neighborhood, especially like these houses coming up here, this may just be what you're looking for. Like this guy coming up right here on the left. This one is actually on the market right now. And we'll give you a little peek inside here and show you what the views look like here in just a second. Now, like I said, if view properties are your thing, this place is one of the nicest around. And this one's still on the market, so if you want to see more of it, let me know. So one thing I haven't shown you guys that some of you might be wondering about is new home developments. And that's partly because Longview just doesn't have the amount of new construction going on up there that we do down here in Clark County. But they do have some. So we're going to come down out of the hills. And after we let the deer do their thing here and get across the road, we're going to head out to West Longview along Ocean Beach Highway and check out the Mount Solo Place development by Lennar Homes. So this little neighborhood is tucked off of Ocean Beach Highway, which is one of the routes that you would take to head out to the coast. From here, you're only about an hour or so away from the town of Long Beach. Great clam digging out there, just a tip for you guys. There are several homes under construction out here in this neighborhood, some that are move-in ready, and home prices out here are going to start in the low 400s. Now, this is a nice, quiet little neighborhood with a good-sized park for the kids. That's actually what we used to zoom in on there at the beginning of this section, was where the park's at, because the park's been here longer than this neighborhood. Walking trails. It's a short drive back into town. So, if you like the Longview area, but you don't really want to be in town, you're looking for new construction, but you don't want to be up on the hill, this might be a good option for you. Some of the other pluses of this neighborhood is that you're close to the Mount Solo Middle School, and for you water sports lovers, you're literally right across the road from the Willow Grove Marina, which will get you right out onto the Columbia River in no time. All right, guys, thanks for checking out Longview with me today. I hope you guys got some good information from it. Don't forget, if you have any questions about the area or you'd like to work together on buying or selling a home here in Longview or anywhere in Southwest Washington, feel free to reach out anytime. You can call, text, email. There's even that link in the description down below to set up the Zoom call. I love hearing from you guys, so don't be afraid to reach out. And do me a big favor before you head out of here. Hit that like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Consider subscribing to the channel and tap that notification bell so you know the next time I put out a new video. It's going to wrap it up for me for today. So until next time, bye everybody.